Hello and welcome from FM Systems. In this short presentation, we're going to discuss how the synchronization between Microsoft Exchange and FM Interact enables clients to use either FM Interact or Microsoft Outlook to reserve conference space and see the availability of both space and people. After the initial setup of the web service, FM Interact and Microsoft Exchange synchronize both rooms and availability. This allows a user in Outlook to reserve and see the availability of both the people they want to invite as well as the actual space they want to use. Inside Microsoft Outlook, I can select the calendar and then add both personnel as well as rooms. Once I've done so, I can now combine them within my calendar to see the availability for any given date and time. Alternatively, I can go in and create my meeting by selecting New Meeting and then adding the personnel I would like to invite. I can now select Rooms, and from my Rooms list, I can select, in this case, the Sales Conference Room, add that to my meeting, and click OK. I have now assigned both personnel as well as the space to the room. I would now identify my date and my time and go ahead and send the invitation. Sending the invitation now schedules the meeting both in Outlook and also associates the meeting inside of FM Interact. Having shown how to reserve space in Outlook, now let's go into FM Interact to verify the room reservation. Inside of FM Interact, I can now navigate to my space reservations, room scheduling, views, and select my calendar. Once my calendar loads, I can now navigate to the room with which I want to select. Selecting the room will now show the calendar view below, and I can choose month, and then we'll click for the next month. Once the information displays, I can now scroll down and verify that indeed a room has been reserved for this time. This room is now no longer available for reservations during that date and time, either within FM Interact or Microsoft Outlook. Now let's create a meeting inside of FM Interact. To do so, we'll navigate Home, and then we'll choose Make Space Reservation. This brings up the meeting invite window. From this window, I can navigate out and I can schedule for a future meeting. I will choose the 26th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Now I'm going to define the location for where I want the meeting to be held. So I'll choose Denver, my main campus building. Now I'm prompted to change the time zone. If the person requesting the meeting is in a different time zone from the location where the meeting will be held, you will be prompted to alter the time zone. And finally, we'll select Floor. When I choose the floor, you'll notice right away that my sales conference room already has a scheduled meeting for the 8 to 9 a.m. that I made earlier. This meeting is happening later from 11 to 12 p.m., so we're okay. One of the things that we might want to do is set recurrence for our meeting. So we'll go ahead and click on the recurrence button, and then we can choose daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You'll notice that this mimics very closely the Outlook recurrence feature. I can choose Wednesday and any other day of the week to define my recurrence for, the amount of recurrences, or an end date for when I want the recurrence to end by. And then finally, we'll choose OK. Now our recurrence has been set for this particular room. One of the benefits of scheduling space inside of FM Interact is the ability to define filters. Filters can be set up so that I only see a list of available rooms for my selected time, a list of rooms with a minimum meeting room capacity. So if I have a meeting defined for 12 individuals, I don't want to see any meeting rooms that cannot handle the 12 personnel I will be inviting. And finally, only listing rooms with certain layout options or listing rooms with equipment. Other custom queries can be created for your filters to filter out your space for your specific business needs. From here, we can select the space that we want. We can also choose from the floor plan view. Once we're in the floor plan view, we can now navigate around the floor to see the different conference rooms that might be available on that floor, choosing the room that we want. Once we've chosen the room that we want, we now have the Room Options tab. Inside of Room Options, we can see the capacity of the space, any included amenities, included equipment, any layout options that would be associated with the space, and any requestable amenities or requestable equipment. Once I'm done defining what I want to be requestable, I simply click on the Save option. Having saved this reservation, I see that there was no approval required, and I can now send this reservation to my calendar. The Send to Calendar option will now open up a meeting inside of Microsoft Outlook where I can now go invite my attendees and set up the rest of my meeting from Microsoft Outlook. Once I'm done, I simply click Send, and my meeting will be sent out to the appropriate personnel. It does not matter if I make the reservation from Outlook or if I make it from FM Interact. The Exchange synchronization keeps the room data up to date and as accurate as the latest meeting invite. Also, all of my routing and approval processes are still fully enforced and managed through FM Interact. If the room is rejected through the approval process, the user receives the standard meeting decline notification from Outlook, and they are free to find another room. That concludes our presentation for today. We hope it has been helpful. Thank you and have a wonderful day.